A defining moment for Indian tennis? We'll find out, but certainly a huge day for the 19-year-old Ramkumar Ramanathan, as on day 2 of the Aircel Chennai Open, he got hold of the Indian #1 Somdev Devarman in 3 sets. A brilliant performance and a bittersweet moment in a way for Indian tennis. Welcome to day 3 of the Aircel Chennai Open 2014, now legitimately so. It is January 1 and we welcome your presence to the Nungambakkam Tennis Centre in Chennai. Thanks so much for joining us for our coverage of what is India's premier and only ATP level tournament. Some fantastic tennis on day 2. To talk about it, once again, the pleasure of the company of Vijay Amritraj. Vijay, I've done with the emeritus, so that's over and done with. But what a day for Indian tennis yesterday. Yuki coming through, but first, Ramkumar Ramanathan, what a story.
And even before that, a very happy New Year to you.
How could I forget?
January 2014. Have a great year.
Thank you. I could use it.
And all our viewers watching on Star Sports 2 and Star Sports HD2, all our viewers, a very, very happy New Year for 2014. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful New Year for all of India, of course. But coming back to the tennis, let's talk about this guy's amazing win yesterday. After losing the first set, if someone had said to me after losing the first set that there was a chance of him coming back to win, I would have said no. I would have probably betted my house on it at the time, but fortunately I didn't. But it really was a superb performance by him, because at no stage did he actually in his mind believe that he could lose. That was pretty much the reason, I think, why he was able to pull it out even in the third set.
Well, true. I mean, that forehand of his particularly, if you see a bit of the Ramanathan performance, he was blasting it inside out all the time, and of course changed it up a couple of times as well. Could Somdev have done something different, and how will he take this loss?
Well, here's the thing, he made 38 unforced errors, Somdev, to 60 for Ramkumar Ramanathan, but at the end of the day, he was the one driving the match. Ramanathan was the one actually taking the chances, making the errors, and forcing the pace like we see here. And his forehand went exceptionally well, and Somdev started to hang back a little bit more. Certainly, this wasn't Somdev's best moment. He was having a bad day at the office. He was playing maybe 50-60% of his own tennis, which I'm sure he admitted. He said it was an F grade as far as he was concerned. But at the end of the day, this is something that you end up having to get out of when you're playing badly. The greatness of a champion comes out when you're playing badly. Can you pull it out? And I think the match like this will also teach Somdev a lot, even at the age of 28, 29 years old. That experience still has a ways to go.
Yeah, I suppose F in this case, and some consolation for Somdev, could also mean the first tournament of the week.
Yes, so absolutely.
Sometimes that happens, but of course a great moment for
And this
Ramanathan.
is the best time for the younger players to catch the so-called top players and have a win on it, just like Yuki did yesterday.
Oh yes, that too. I mean, Yuki Bhamri wasn't easy at all, and he too, accelerated wonderfully, if we can use that term, by beginning slowly, by making sure that he didn't commit too many errors, and then powering it on. Impressed?
But Char, as I was saying in the kids' clinic, what Yuki did, and it's improved so much in the last 12 months, is being more positive as a tennis player. He was playing off the front foot, he was attacking, he was running around the backhand, hitting forehands, he was coming in, he was moving forward. He put this guy on the back foot. This was the guy, the Spaniard, who was taking all the action in the first part of the match, and then Bhamri coming back beautifully after being down the break to actually stay with his program and attack as much as he could. And the way he closed it out, I thought was spectacular.
Yeah, true. Held his nerves for sure. He's only 21, Yuki. Ramanathan's only 19. So looks like Indian tennis is in good hands. Well, let's also talk about doubles, because that was a bit of a cliffhanger, quite needlessly. So on the other hand, they were playing the defending champions, so it was never going to be easy for Bopanna and Qureshi. Good to see them back together, but didn't they leave it for late?
Well, again, you're playing a wonderful team, last year's winner, and you see the reaction there from Bopanna and Qureshi. Now, down 8-6 in the final tiebreaker to come back to 9-all, and they had that remarkably long point at 9-all, some 16-shot rally from the way Rohan explained the whole thing to me. And I think they probably had a good meal, because they really had to have actually come out of that situation and squeeze out the match 11-9. He served well, of course.
Would it be fair to say that they're now favourites, because Leander, as we know, is sadly with our partner, can't be playing this tournament, so perhaps Bopanna and Qureshi now have an opportunity to go all the way?
Well, they were the favourites, irrespective of who was playing in the tournament. They were seeded 1, of course, in this week's event, and they're playing together again after a lapse of maybe 12, 14 months. But as Assam said very rightly, they complement one another the way they play. So I think it's important for them to kind of get a couple of tournaments under their belt. If they can win here, it'll really help them a lot. I do believe that the match yesterday is going to help them win here.
Well, we hope so, certainly. Thank you so much. And it is all about complementing each other in the doubles. Well, let's quickly check on our Day 3 menu. And there are two singles where our top seeds are in evidence. Mikhail YOUZHNY, of course, returning after about 5-6 years after he won the title against Dudi, who's he's a difficult customer, of course, Wawrinka against the other Becker, if you can call him that, Benjamin.
Well, I think Wawrinka and Becker will have that'll be a good match. I mean, Wawrinka is not going to be at his very best, being his first match of the year, of course, after Abu Dhabi. But at the end of the day, I think it'll be a good match. We've got a great set of matches today.
And of course, the doubles action as well.
Yep.
Featuring Indians and of course Ramkumar Ramanathan as well in the doubles. So we'll see how it goes. Vijay, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And as you reminded me earlier on, let me also wish everybody else a very, very happy New Year. 2014 may it be a different year, a better year full of hope. And thank you so much for joining us on Star Sports 2 and Star Sports 2 HD. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, it's going to be the champion from way back, 2008, Mikhail YOUZHNY, taking centre court. Stay with us.
Stand by. Second, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As you know, it is a very busy day today on Chennai.
So this is what's coming up. Dudi, SELA and Mikhail YOUZHNY. Solid first round match this at the Aircel Chennai Open. This is day 3 of the championships, of course. Year 2014, the opening day of 2014. A very, very happy New Year to everyone. All of our viewers on Star Sports 2 and Star Sports HD2. Had a few drops of rain today, believe it or not, which was not expected, but showed up. Almost hurt the kids' clinic, but went off well. In commentary with me is my good friend Rico Piperno from Calcutta. Rico, great to see you. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, Vijay. Great to be with you in the commentary box, and let me take this opportunity to wish all our viewers on Star Sports 2 and HD2 a very, very happy New Year. We got a wonderful day of tennis ahead of us on day 3 of the Aircel Chennai Open, and we open proceedings with an interesting first round match between Mikhail YOUZHNY and Dudi. Your views on the match, Vij?
Yes, before we get into that let's just talk about the ball toss or the coin toss here. Coin toss here, sponsored by FedEx. And FedEx, of course, is the only way to get your packages across safely and surely and on time anywhere in India or around the world. There it is, the FedEx coin toss. He couldn't tell. Okay, who won the toss? Quick picture. Haven't seen much of YOUZHNY. I think he was also off for a while, wasn't he? Injured or coming back after injury, Mikhail YOUZHNY?
Yes, he's been around for a while. He won this event in 2008. And since then, he's sort of been up and down. His ranking's been in the top 20 now, so he's probably had a good end of 2013. But one of the most stylish sort of tennis players that are still around, with a wonderful one-handed backhand. A dying sort of breed in international tennis. And you can see his stats here. He lives in Moscow, in Russia. He's ranked 15 in the world, so he's climbed up again. Turned pro in 1999, so he's been a pro for now 13 years. Career best ranking of 8. He's 31 years old. He's 6 foot tall and weighs 73 kilograms. That is Mikhail YOUZHNY, our number 2 seed here at the Aircel Chennai Open.
It is 12
So Dudi from Tel Aviv, lives there, ranked 73. Career best was 29, so he's dropped a bit, age 28. He's been around for a while, 5'9", in height, 65 kilograms in weight. Turned pro in 2002. So he's been on the road as a pro for 13 years, so rather 11 years. It's finally cleared up, isn't it?
Yes, it looked a little shaky half an hour ago with the spots of rain. It seems to have cleared up, and we are ready for some really good tennis. And Vijay, I must compliment the government of Tamil Nadu for keeping the stadium the way they have together. It's it gets better every year. The surface is playing beautifully, and it's just wonderful that the event's been here for 18 years now.
Mikhail YOUZHNY also did some very nice stuff for the tournament today, visiting some of the activities of the sponsors. But he visited the Indian Bank, leading banks in India, of course, and been around for a long time. But Mikhail YOUZHNY visited. There he is, coming into the bank. Took pictures with the management and staff of the bank, and also one of our wonderful platinum sponsors for the Aircel Chennai Open. So it's wonderful what these guys do to help out with the tournament and visit a lot of the sponsors and do a lot of activities with kids and so on, to be able to help both the city and the tournament. Yes, as Rico was saying, the Tamil Nadu government helped support the Tamil Nadu Tennis Association and of course this tournament, and which is owned and operated by IMG Reliance, who do such a wonderful job with this event. And but the support of the Tamil Nadu government has been instrumental in keeping this tournament here. The Honourable Chief Minister has been an ardent supporter of sport all throughout the state. She opened some new stadiums, some new dormitories, some hostels, all for athletes.
She also had the World Chess Championships here a few months ago.
Which I also visited. Disappointed to see Vishy Anand go down to Carlson, but it was a magnificent event held at the Hyatt Regency here. Again, supported very, very strongly by the government of Tamil Nadu and the Honourable Chief Minister Jayalalitha. That tweet came in from Henry Larkson, and he'll be back, he says, next year. Very nice. We never had all this 10 years ago, the tweeting and the Facebook and Instagram and all the stuff that they played a long match. Henry Larksonen, he lost to Bedeen 3-6, 7-5, 7-6 in 2 hours and 29 minutes. What a match. What a match to lose. But players come here, as soon as they've finished their playing here, they take off to the next tournament very quickly to get acclimatized to the weather conditions in Australia and get ready for Sydney, and of course then the Australian Open, which by the way is also on Star Sports. It starts on the 13th of January for 2 weeks.
There, a wonderful view of the Fiat Linea, finest Italian car makers, and the Linea is a beautiful piece of machinery on display here on Centre Court, and of course our transport sponsor for the Aircel Chennai Open 2014. And we got the chair umpire for the evening, Christoph Damask from Germany. As we await the start of the second round encounter between Dudi and our number 2 seed Mikhail YOUZHNY of Russia. A wonderful shot there of Karthi Chidambaram, one of the men behind the tournament. and of course the players, the officials, and everyone who goes around to make this tournament a very, very special event.
Ladies and gentlemen, best of 3, tiebreak set match. Mikhail YOUZHNY to the right of the chair, won at the toss. And
so this should be a very interesting encounter because Dudi SELA has been in the top 30 in men's tennis. He knows what it is to beat some of the bigger players. He's dropped a bit in the rankings, but certainly still very solid off the back court. And best Israeli tennis player since Amos Mansdorf way back in the 80s. And Mikhail YOUZHNY, of course, working hard to break into the top 10. I think he's just outside of it. A very solid performer, this YOUZHNY. Single-handed backhand, strikes the ball well, serves well, volleys very, very well, which is unusual in today's tennis.
Yeah, product of the Russian system. A lot of players, men's and women's, coming through that system in Russia. Mikhail YOUZHNY's turned pro in 1999, so he's been around for 13. This is his 14th year on the tour. Of course, in the past, great Russian tennis players like Yevgeny Kafelnikov, Nikolai Davydenko on the men's side, and of course, so many great women's tennis players out of Russia. So we wait the start of the day's proceedings, third day of the Aircel Chennai Open 2014. You know, Vijay, we can actually say 2014 quite kind of
yes.
Convincingly from today.
It's a bit tricky, isn't it, in talking about it the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's kind of hesitating to say 2014 yesterday and day before yesterday, but now we can proudly say it is 2014.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure.
So here we are. This is day 3 of the Aircel Chennai Open. And first round match. Dudi SELA, Mikhail YOUZHNY.
Dudi SELA to serve. Ready? Play.
When was the last time we saw two single-handed backhands play each other?
Yes, it's a rarity on the ATP Tour. And I would say on the WTA Tour, an impossibility.
Exactly.
Two guys with wonderful one-handed backhands. Vijay, the first thing you notice when talking of one-handed backhands is how beautifully sideways on they get. You know, the shoulder rotation is magnificent. You know, and that's, I guess, what makes the one-handed backhand so spectacular to watch. In fact, since the rain has cleared, it's become a nice evening for tennis. Slightly overcast still.
30-15.
First double fault by Dudi SELA.
Oh, wrong choice of shot there. YOUZHNY coming up with the lob, not good enough, but SELA, take a look at this.
I don't understand why he didn't hit an overhead. Try to play a cute little backhand cross-court volley there. High backhand cross-court volley. Put it in the middle of the court, paid the price.
40-30.
Got away with it.
Game SELA.
YOUZHNY got there with plenty of time.
First game.
Just feeling each other out here.
I see a replay of this. YOUZHNY, as Vijay said, getting here with enough time to put that down the line. Tried to be a little cute hitting across court. Paid the price. Dudi SELA holds serve, leads 1-0.
So Dudi SELA holds on in the opening game of the match.
YOUZHNY to serve.
This is what YOUZHNY does well. He can volley. He's not afraid to come in, playing aggressively there. This is what gives him that high ranking. Puts him in the 4-seeded players here that were afforded a bye in their first round.
Breath of fresh air watching a player being aggressive, coming in behind some really good deep approach shots. Don't see too many players at the net nowadays. Very high ball toss.
15-all.
Talked about it a lot, especially when it's windy. So this man beat Lucas Lacko in the first round, 6-4, 6-2. Oh dear. Interesting, he's missed 2 of those forehands so far, but by a mile.
I was just going to say. By what, 10 feet maybe?
Yeah.
Kind of flat sort of forehand.
They called a foot fault on him. Struggling a little bit with the movement, YOUZHNY. And now SELA with a chance, 2 chances rather, to break. Second game of the first set.
Yes. Wonderful 1-2 there by the Russian.
30-40.
Going over the highest part of the net with that forehand down the line. As we say, threading the needle straight through. So 1 break point saved. Number 2 seed faces another one.
That's a brave second serve there from YOUZHNY. 160 plus on the marker.
10 on the line at 161 Ks.
Net first service.
Went for it, Dudi SELA.
Advantage.
Didn't lose by
YOUZHNY.
much. So number 2 seed having saved 2 game points. Spun his first serve in there at 140. And pretty sort of casually hit that backhand long. That's our number 1 seed, Stan Wawrinka. Yes. Hitting behind Dudi SELA there with the forehand.
Advantage. YOUZHNY.
Wrong footing the Israeli. So another game point to the number 2 seed here. Kind of feeling each other out here, huh, Vijay?
Yes, they haven't quite settled down yet. Unforced errors, more than usual in the early stage of this match.
Advantage. SELA.
Wrong choice of shot there by Mikhail YOUZHNY. Gives Dudi SELA his 3rd break point. Foot faulted for the 2nd time.
His left foot moves a bit right there.
Mr. YOUZHNY is challenging ball on the left.
Oh, that's a big challenge.
Ball was called in.
He seemed very confident, put his hand up right away.
He did.
Yeah, pretty close.
Oh dear. He loses the game now.
Full stance. Game. SELA. SELA leads 2 games to love.
You want the doctor on the title?
I'm not quite sure what the query is.
Clearly it was on the line, wasn't it?
Yes. No arguing with Hawkeye there. But it seems to be...
Mr. YOUZHNY has 2 challenges remaining.
You think he asked them to recheck?
What, the Hawkeye?
So with that, Dudi SELA has broken the number 2 seed serve on the very first service game. Leads 2 games to love.
Love 15. Love 30.
Again, 2 unforced errors by the Israeli. One off the backhand wing and one off the forehand wing. All of a sudden it's love 30.
Love
I think there are
40.
3 unforced errors. Mikhail YOUZHNY not really getting his body out of the way on that return of serve, jamming himself on a backhand. Dudi SELA saved one break point. Backhand by Mikhail YOUZHNY.
30-40.
Going a little wide. So 2 break points saved.
Game. YOUZHNY.
Well, tight game there, but YOUZHNY managed to get the break back. So we're on serve. 2-1. SELA, first set. Welcome back. You're watching live coverage on Star Sports 2. Aircel Chennai Open. This is day 3 of these championships. Rico and I are watching YOUZHNY and Dudi SELA here on center court, but there's a bit of a timeout by YOUZHNY. A little uncomfortable, I guess. It's given him a couple of tablets there, Dr. Espace. And let's see if it's his stomach, whether it's his any other pains he's been having. Still don't have any information about what the request was for this timeout, why it was. SELA there at 2-love, then dropped to serve at 2-love to get back, YOUZHNY to get back to 2-1.
Time.
So, not quite sure. It might have even been an upset stomach or... Anyway, he's back. YOUZHNY. So YOUZHNY serving at 1-2 first set.
Love 15.
Unforced errors from YOUZHNY, still adding up.
Definitely something troubling him. Number 2 seed, Mikhail YOUZHNY.
That was played so delicately. Wonderful hands from YOUZHNY.
Soft hands, as they say. This incredible drop shot. Drop volley too, sorry.
That certainly was the rally of the match so far.
30-15.
This was a very delicate drop shot.
Yes, opening his racket face. Dudi SELA got there with time to spare, Vijay, but was not able to convert that into anything. That's much better. That backhand down the line doing the damage. Watching two guys here playing who play very similar sort of tennis. Both hit one-handed backhands, both very solid from the back. So break point for Dudi SELA. For a guy ranked 15 in the world, Vijay, Mikhail YOUZHNY, doesn't seem to get too many free points on his serve, which is, you know.
No, it just looks to me the energy level is a bit low here. Not quite sure what it is, but. Oh.
Dudi SELA had a look at that pass.
Hughes.
Another tight service game on the Russian serve. Back to deuce.
Advantage SELA.
Still the unforced error.
Take your seats
from
quickly,
YOUZHNY.
please. Thank you.
Good 1-2 here by the Russian. Look a little better. A little more bite on that serve at 181. And then the off forehand. Wrong footing the Israeli. An unforced error by the number 2 seed gives the Israeli another break point. Wonderful backhand down the line by Dudi SELA. Breaks YOUZHNY's serve for the second time and leads 3-1 in the first set.
So YOUZHNY not having held serve yet. Couple of games.
Like you mentioned, Vijay, having some issues, some energy level seems to be down a little bit, maybe suffering with some sort of bug, which we don't know. Paperno family.
That's the Paperno family. Lovely. Look at your kids. They've grown up so much. Amazing. Unbelievable.
I remember you having one of them in your arms at the Jurong Bird Park in Singapore, Vijay, 20 years ago.
Oh dear. Well, and I still look the same. Amazing. How old are the girls now?
My daughter, my son Azan, he's 20. He's a sophomore at George Washington University.
Okay, excellent.
And my daughter Alia, that's my wife Samira.
Oh, he's quit the match. Here we are. This is what we were talking about earlier, Rico. He was not feeling that great.
Yeah.
No, energy level was really low out there. He took a tablet when he came on, but certainly hard to kind of make it work all of a sudden. I'm sure it has to do a sport with his stomach, I think.
We'll try and get more details of what really transpired. Yeah.
That's a pity, because this would have been a wonderful match if they were both in full form. Dudi Sela having won his first round. This is a second round match. 3-1 up and
30 love.
3-1, 30 love.
That's when he pulled out. So a sort of sad moment for the tournament. Mikhail YOUZHNY was the number 2 seed. Right from the start, he was, like you said, his energy levels were down. He seemed to be struggling a little bit with his serve. And
so what happened to the number 2 seeds here? Because singles and doubles, they're both gone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a jinx. You don't want to be seated number 2 at the ACO Chennai Open, that's for sure.
Exactly. But here we are. Families coming to this event for years to watch these matches, which is really, really encouraging to see at the Aircel Chennai Open. Even the kids clinic today, we had a very strong turnout of kids, hundreds of kids coming out with their parents and getting some tips from the pros. So really a wonderful event this, that has really been a fixture in Chennai for the past 17-18 years, and I'm proud to have had the opportunity to bring it in here way back 17 years ago and give us the chance to see some world-class tennis in India and in my hometown. So we're going to take a short break. A lot of action here on Centre Court. Stay with us on Star Sports 2. Stan Wawrinka up against Benjamin Becker, and that's the second match. And there we are, Stan Wawrinka and Benjamin Becker, the man to take out Agassi from his last tournament at the US Open. Coming up on Star Sports 2.